like and share. Let me get this in a few places. I've had an emergency trip down to Southampton to sort a few bits and pieces out, which I'm not going to go into on the show, but I'm not in London. Southampton to sort a few bits and pieces out. Here I go. Let me just get onto Facebook and I'll share all this stuff out and we'll get it on. Here we go. Share to a page. I won't go mad. Quite a bit to talk about tonight. I had a really busy day today, which was fun. Just going to share in a couple more places. Bear with me, folks. Like and share. Like and share. Share that public. Share.
Oh, bloody Mary Berry's on again. I don't know if I'm what good cook she is.
She is. But she ain't Big Phil. Okay. Right, that's shared in a few places. Let's get the audience up.
Sorry for that bloody TV in the back.
I know, yeah, terrible. There we go, so let's share in a few places. Okay, bit of housework first then. Somebody's asked me to share with you a charity, and it's called Roughing It for Heroes. Now, I'm not sure who's behind this charity. I didn't get a whole heap of time to scope this one out, but I've got a picture of the cover of the landing page on. There we go. So that's a picture of Roughing It for Heroes. Have a look at that. It's on Facebook. It's on Facebook, so have a quick butchers at that. Roughing It for Heroes, okay? Raising awareness for veterans from British forces, homeless, often with poor mental health. And that's someone walking home for Christmas.
And film you, sorry, because it just got the curtains, the TV, it just
that's all right.
untidy.
It's what it is untidy, but like I say, I'm not round my house tonight, so you've got to take what you can get, I'm afraid. Okay, so today we went to a friend of mine, Wazza's place. That's his shop there, G4 Ashland, and that's in Folkestone. And what Wazza did was, he's got a surplus shop, he does loads of stuff, the gear he's got in is amazing. So he's got all the stuff for airsoft, all the stuff for serving soldiers, etc, 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 as Wendy would like to say. He's got some great gear in there, and basically he had a lot of surplus stock that he couldn't get rid of. So he had some sleeping bags, he had a whole heap of stuff. And basically what he done was, he advertised it locally, and we gave it out to the homeless people of the area. So there's Wendy, helping the geezer fill his bag up. There you go. There's me and Wendy, I think helping someone else fill a bag up. And there we were outside. He put some mince pies on. He put some soup. He had some rations boiling away. Yeah, so a successful day. So well done, Wazza. A great thing to do. And like I say, you must have helped out 20 or 30 people today, which is tremendous. So they've all got sleeping bags. They've all got woolly hats. They've all got as much as we could give them. I know you can't help everybody, but you know you've got into them a little bit. At least you know those people have had a hot scoff today, a mince pie each. A cup of soup,
boots,
clean clothes, boots,
coats, everything.
They've had it. So well done.
Do you know what? It was quite sad because one guy said, "Do you know what? My Christmas has come early." He said,
yeah, which is nice. So was it? You've done a great thing there today, mate, and I'm proud of you. So it was only my pleasure to turn up and help out for 5 minutes, but the gig was yours, and you've done well, mate. So I hope good things happen to you, mate, because you deserve it for that. That was a good show today, mate. Okay, where are we going? Right, we're going to quickly talk. So we're up to day 5 on the Iranian embassy siege, okay? And we went to day 5 last time where the SAS were making their final plan. All right, what I'm going to cover today, very, very briefly, but in a bit of detail, is day 6, the first part of. I'm not going to give you the whole of day 6. I'm only going to give you the first part, okay? Because it is quite a day, a lot of stuff going on, and I wanted to explain where the regiment would have been at, where I would have wanted to have been at, etc, 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 as Wendy would say. Okay, so X-Ray 1, remember X-Ray 1 was a guy called Owen, X-Ray being terrorist, okay, so terrorist 1 was a guy called Owen. On the 6th day, which was the 5th of May, he woke really early, and he woke up PC Lock. And he had major concerns. He thought there was somebody in the building, and he wanted to poke around, and he wanted to look at stuff. And Locke was obviously trying to say, Locke must have known by this stage that people would be up to stuff, but he didn't want to give the game away of anything. So he'd done a tremendous job of keeping the lid on him a little bit. So he's calming this guy down, who like I say, I call Whiskey One. So Whiskey One wants to have a look around the building. He goes into one of the rooms which is adjoining onto the Ethiopian embassy, and he notices a great big bulge in the wall. Now, I'll tell you what, how Locke talks him down from that, because he talks him down, and basically he's seen this big bulge in the wall, and he's saying to him, what the fuck is that then? And Locke, I would love to meet PC Locke and say to him, you know, what went through your mind? What were you actually, because you must have known. You must have known, because it was, of course it was. It was the regiment on the other side, and what they'd done was they'd removed a load of bricks so that they could use less explosives on the entry, you know, therefore minimising the chance of hurting anybody on the other side. And they would have been stood by that thing just in case the whole thing had come down. So they must have been on the other side. They could probably see what was going on, so they could have seen this lunatic. They would have been able to see this lunatic looking at it. They would have probably almost definitely 100% have heard him talking to Locke about it through the translator. And they must have been thinking, one of those ones where your fingers are like, oh my God, I hope they don't. It's like, you know, when I did the Stansted hijacking and the terrorists used to come down the thing and used to hide behind the wheel, and he'd be like, I hope no one looks around this wheel, because they're just gonna kick straight off, and it's gonna start the whole thing going. And I'm not in the best position to do anything about it. So he must have been thinking, oh, because really, when you do these jobs, you want the assault to go in at a time and a place of your choosing. Of course, you want the job to go in. Everybody wants the job to go in, don't they? But you want it to go down, affording you the best opportunity of getting the best result. And to do that, you need to be doing the deliberate option. And if something goes wrong and all of a sudden it triggers things off, it's not always the best way to go into an assault. Anyway, so there you go. So he's having the butchers about. And like I say, he finds this wall. So he gets the ump. Now, Locke tries to talk him down, but eventually the atmosphere, he doesn't believe him. He's like that. They're up to something. They're up to something. So at 1300, he issued a message, this Whiskey X-Ray 1, issued a message basically saying to the police interpreters and the interpreter, I will give you 45 minutes to bring me an Arab ambassador, or I'm going to start killing people. Now, you have to take that seriously, but there's absolutely no way on God's earth was he going to get an Arab ambassador. Even if you'd have probably tried to get one, where are you going to find an Arab ambassador in 45 minutes? So you've got to assume that the threat of that being carried out is now quite high. But on the flip side of that, the fact that he's gone through all these timelines before and not started doing stuff, there's always that little bit of sort of like, bing, is he going to do it? Is he not going to do it? So it would have been a fairly tense time. Now, obviously, when somebody says something like that, you would imagine that the regiment would go, I'll tell you what we'll do, we'll have a permanent like standby now of blokes ready to go at a second's notice. So as well as the deliberate, they probably had something ready to go at the drop of at the sniff of anything going noisy. They could have gone boom and straight in. So, because like I say, when you're dealing with a terrorist and a hostage scenario, basically from the minute of contact being initiated, you need to be on top of it straight away, because they're just going to start slotting hostages straight away from the very off. Boom, boom, boom. And literally, like I say, if you've got them all lined up against a wall like that, you don't get very long before the guys just go bum, 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 bum. You know, so you get the picture, don't you? So having something stood to is extremely, extremely important for stuff like that. And they would have been all over it, I'm sure. Anyway, so at 1340, PC Locke gets onto the interpreter and he says, right, you've got 5 minutes now, but to let you know, they've taken a guy called, and I can't say his name, Levancy. They've taken a guy called Levancy, who's the press officer for the Iranian embassy. They've taken him downstairs, and they've told us that he's going to be the one that gets executed. Now, apparently this Levancy was quite outspoken against what they were doing, had goaded them a little bit, and had also said, look, if you're going to kill someone, kill me. So they duly obliged. They said he was the one that got picked. I mean, again, an extremely brave thing to do, or a very stupid thing to do. You tell me. But like I say, that's what he did anyway. He said, you know, take me. If you're going to take anybody, take me. So they duly did. Off he went. So Locke's now telling the police, you know, this is going live now. You know, they've got a guy downstairs. They've said they've got to do it. So they know that. Bang on the nail at 13:45. bang on the nail at 13:45. 3 shots rang out from the embassy, okay? And so you've then got to assume that something's happened and something bad has happened, because you don't just shoot at the floor, do you? And you wouldn't want to be calling someone's bluff in case, you know, the whole pack of cards comes stacking down on you if you're a terrorist, you know. If you're going to shoot someone, you're going to shoot someone. So at that as soon as those shots were heard, the Home Secretary, Willie Whitelaw, who'd been chairing the Cobra thing for the whole time, he was at some dinner in Slough, and they literally, I think he had about 20 miles to get back to Whitehall. They bunged him straight in a car, and they sent him back across London. And yeah, they took him to chair an emergency meeting. And that is where I'm going to leave it for Monday, okay? That's as far as I'm going today, okay? So we've now got, we don't know if he's alive or dead, but we've got shots fired, okay? We've got troops stood ready. What would the troops have been doing now? I mean, shots fired, as far as I'm concerned, when something noisy happens, there's a pretty good chance they're going to let the leash off you, okay? And so, you know, if there's a chance that somebody's been killed, if that can be confirmed, and in some cases, even if it can't be confirmed, there's a good chance one of the adults is going to say, enough's enough, send these geezers in, okay? And that's what you're waiting for as a trooper. That's the money shot. That's what you want. That's what you train for. That's where you're trying to get to in life. Do you know what I mean? Is somebody going, stand by, okay? Now, they're on a hair's breadth now, so, you know, all that training, all those plans that have been rehearsed, all those plans that have been briefed, all the stuff you've talked about, you know, that is now on the tip of your tongue. You're now probably stacked up somewhere with your charges ready to go, with your hands, you know, with your debts attached and that sort of stuff to your various bits of kit. Your weapons are loaded and made ready, and in some cases the safety might already been off. So you really are on a hair trigger now for that person to just go boom, right, off you go, okay? So we're going to leave it there. We're going to leave it with the Home Secretary going back to London, okay, and him getting back in and receiving a brief from the CO of 22 SAS. Okay, so we'll leave it right there and we'll get on again with that sometime this week. I'm not going to tell you which day, all right? But
it's cliffhanger music.
It's cliffhanger. It's cliffhanger time, isn't it? Thank you very much for that one. Very professional job today, Minnie, I must say. A very professional job. Loving your work, loving your style. Here we go. So,
hang on, boys.
Trying to get on to soft rep now.
Professional.
No, that was anything but professional. So she bigs it up with one hand, smashes it down with the other. Right, let's have a quick butchers. Let's see what questions we coming through today. Who have we got on here today then? So let's have a butchers. Don't forget to like and share, folks, says Wendy. Oh, she's sat opposite me. Lucy Berry, quick update. A quick update is we're having a cliffhanger this week. We're on day 6, and we've now got the Home Secretary ready to be briefed by the CO 22 SAS on what's going to happen next after 3 gunshots were heard within the embassy at 13:45 on a deadline. Okay, so there you go. That's your cliffhanger.
Chris Grizzly said, did they get in and kill them, etc., etc.,
etc., etc., etc. They were certainly ready, my friend, but I'm not going down that one there. Tell me, mate, I was fostered and adopted. We're in the same boat. Tell me, please. Jason Cash, yes, I was adopted. I found out, you know, I've always known I was adopted for as long as I can remember as a kid. And I found my real family the same weekend as I got badged into the regiment, which was quite a shocker. And I'd actually been watching one of my family members for years on television. So it was quite, I had 2 brothers I didn't realise I had. I met my mother, I met loads of uncles, cousins. I still don't know everybody's name now, to be honest. It was an absolutely amazing, tremendous experience. And I would say to anybody who's adopted, if you want to find out, you're playing a game against the clock, because I never got to meet my old man. He died prior to me finding the family. And that is probably one of the, it's something I can't do anything about. But if there was one person in this world who I'd have wanted to meet more than anybody, it would have been my dad. And I would never get that chance. Okay, so if you're thinking about doing it, if you're adopted, if you think you know where they are, and you think you're gonna, mate, it's one of those things. I can't tell you to do it. Okay, but what I can tell you is you're playing a game against the clock, and it is the clock of life. And at any time, any member of any family can just disappear and not be there anymore. So I don't need to tell you any more than that, do I? So there we go. few sad faces there. There's nothing to be sad. There's nothing I can do about it, is there? Do you know what I mean? So it does make me a bit sad, but there you go. First attack on the base for first attack on the base for years. RAF Middenhall, which is I think has got some Americans on board. That's not even on the news, says Peter King. It is on SoftRep. So if you go on to SoftRep, they've got a piece on it. Okay, so SoftRep have got a piece on it written already. It was in the Express, I think, and it's appeared in MSN on a couple of other places. But I would expect that to be a big story. Someone's tried to ram a van into an RAF base. Shots have been fired, cuts and bruises, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, I'd have thought that would be up there somewhere. He'd been one proud dad. Oh, thanks, Faye, very much. No, don't make me go all lumpy in the throat and that. Have you built your drone from B cows? Don't say drones round Wendy. She won't let me have one at the moment. Do I like Jim Davidson, says Leo. I've got nothing against Jim. He's all right. He does his bits and pieces. He tries. He's got a few things going for the troops, etc., etc., etc.
You just can't help saying it, can you?
Yeah, I'll do it on purpose.
No, you don't.
Yes, I do.
No, you don't.
Hi, Phil and Wendy. Hope you both had a great weekend. We had an all right weekend, didn't we? What have you know, I've already lost what I did this weekend.
We've been busy. I'm really tired.
We've been busy. We haven't stopped. I've got really Olivia with me at the moment. So I've got my youngest daughter with me, but we've had to come down to see my oldest daughter. So we've been running around all over the place. Perry came home from New York, so I had to pick him up from the airport, take him home.
Dropped our neighbour off.
Our neighbour wanted to go on holiday, so we dropped her off at the airport.
We haven't stopped.
Yeah, we've had a bit of a run around, to be honest.
Worn out. I'm worn out.
Have I got any more thoughts of me back in my SAS days? Yeah, I have got a few. I'll feed them in. I have got. Let me see if I can find you one now. Wait there. Let me just see if I can find you one now.
They're not letting you go with this, etc., etc., etc. Oh, hello, Shay.
It's all like it's gone from diddly do to etc., 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 isn't it? They go back to diddly do next week. Here we go, diddly do. I think my friend McGookin liked a diddly do, didn't he? A diddly do or a diddly don't. Diddly did you? Let me see if I can find you. Wait there. Let me find you an old regiment picture. I haven't got that many, to be honest, of me in the regiment. And the ones I have got.
Luke said, what's daily life like in the regiment?
Great, superb, living the dream. And I mean, nowadays it must be tremendous because there's so much work on the go that they must be absolutely living the dream.
Faye says, on Xmas Day she needs a lift to Gatwick. Any chance? Laugh out loud.
On Xmas Day? You're only travelling because that's the cheapest day of the year, isn't it? That's outrageous. What a day to travel, Christmas Day. There you go.
I would travel.
One times picture of Big Phil in the regiment.
Oh, hang on. Oh, hang on.
Oh, hang on. There you go. One times Big Phil in the regiment. I've got another one you can have. Yeah, see, the other thing is, I'm in that one, but you wouldn't guess which one, would you? That one talking about Jim Davidson. Guess who pops up there? There you go. So there you go. So I've met Jim Davidson. Obviously, I do know him. Yeah, let's go back to Facebook and see what you're saying now.
Ben said, hi, Phil. Would you be able to send me a copy of Born Fearless to get signed? You can get them off the
You can get them off. You can get them on my Facebook page, mate. On my born-fearless.shop. That's the best way to do it. US Air Base in Middenhall, some big aircraft there. I'm sure there is. I mean, all aircraft are fairly big news, aren't they? Back in my first days. Hello from Wales, home of the Beacons, says Robbie. I love the Beacons, mate. I do really genuinely like it up there. I know it gets a bit cheeky up there sometimes, but on a nice day, what a tremendous place to be. You look well different, Phil. Yeah, I do look massively different, mate, in my regiment days.
Go on, say it, Martin. He looks slimmer back then.
That ain't called for, is it? In fact, that's bordering on out of order, isn't it? Bordering on well out of order, that is. Unbelievable. Top 5 firearms for close combat, says Brendan Coggins. Well, it depends what you want to do. Is it a primary or secondary weapon? I mean, I'm a Glock stroke Sig man myself with my pistols. I think, you need something nowadays that you can just squeeze straight on the trigger and it'll go bang. You don't need to be fussing around with safety nowadays. We all know that that's your safety catch, don't we? So I think, the Glock is a great pistol, as is the Sig. So if you pushed me into one or the other of those, I could probably go with the Glock, just based on the fact that I've used it more than anything else. But you know, all decent pistols nowadays do a good job. If we're going to talk firearms, longs, you know, obviously I was brought up on the MP5 and stuff like that, so I've still got a lot of time for the MP5. You know, in buildings and that, want a bit more punch. Obviously, you know, there's all the AR platform type weapons that are, you know, that can be cut down and made short, etc. nowadays, which is, you know, there's all decent bit of kit. I've always said with weapons, so long as it's well maintained, it's serviceable, and I've got enough ammunition, I'll carry what the fuck you give me. I don't care, all right? I'm not bothered, all right? So long as I know my way around it, so long as, like I say, so long as it's clean, serviceable, and I've got enough ammunition, give me what you like. It's the man, not the weapon.
Excuse me.
Plus the Glock fits in my sock. It does. Next to my... No, it's not. No, that's in my... No, the Glock does fit in the sock. No, I'm only joking. David Carpenter's watching. Good evening, David. How are you? Colin Brooks. Just more mature now. And that's how I explain his haircut. The old fag ash blonde, isn't it? The old cigarette ash blonde. What battalion is Perry in? He's in the 2nd Battalion. Keep yomping, have a great Christmas and a New Year to you both, says Peter King. I will do. The word you're looking for is cuddly. Yeah, pleasantly plump.
Sorry. Leo said, stop being mean to him, Wendy. Like,
Oh, isn't it?
It wasn't me.
Unbelievable.
I never said you look different.
Just got a Glock 22C, in 40 cal for you to play with when you come over to the island, Phil. I'd love to, mate. Rod, I know you've got all the gear. I'd love to come over and have a good old go with you. We will do. We'll be over this year, mate. I promise you we'll be over this year.
And Andy Harris says you're twice the man now.
I am, yeah. And Richard John Griffiths has got it right down the pattern. He says, "Why be thinner when you can eat more dinner?" Still look nails, mate. I can still roll about a little bit. In fact, I can roll about quite well now, I'm a fat bastard. Funniest moment in the regiment? Well, there's been lots of funny moments. Loads of funny moments. I can't remember. I gave an example. Someone asked me this every week, so I'm not going to give the same story again every week. I'll give you another story. We were up on doing our education up in, where was it? Preston somewhere. Camp up there full of medics. And on the way back into camp, one of the lads, they had a great big cannon outside. And one of the lads shat on the very end of the cannon. And I saw it. There was like a big Mr. Whippy foresight on the front of this camera. There's this cannon. Anyway, there was a lad walking into camp with us, and he ran as fast as he could, and thought it'd be a great idea to jump up, grab the cannon, and see if he could... Anyway, he only landed right where this shit was, and he slid the length of the cannon. And it was honking. It was absolutely honking. It was all over his hands. And he sort of like walked in and went to bed like that. And he was moaning, if I get the bastard who shat on that cannon, I'll fucking murder him, blah, blah, blah. And I've forgotten about it. We got to breakfast. And he come into breakfast and he was sat there. And he's obviously gone back to have a look at the scene of the crime, the lad that shat on it. And he come into breakfast, this lad, and he went, fucking hell, lads. He goes, last night, he says, I shit on the fucking cannon. He says, and the bullshitting fuckers have cleaned it off already. He was only sat next to the bloke that slid down on it. Which was quite funny to do. A poo story, which will keep Wendy happy. He's not big, he's bubble wrapped because he's precious. Oh, we've always been precious, mate, you know that. Fulwood Barracks, Phil. Is that the one, is it? I may not be for England, but I still appropriate those who serve. Thank you for your country's service.
Appreciate those.
Oh, yeah, appreciate those who serve. Thank you, Nick Burkey. Mike Dyer is watching, and Rick Stifford. Happy Christmas, big boy. Thank you very much.
Big boy.
Big boy. Right. When did I tell you? Big boy. Hey, big boy. There we go. Nothing is funnier than to shit on a cannon. There ain't many things funnier than shitting on a cannon, are there? There really ain't. It's quite funny, isn't it? A little foresight there was.
Steve Stockley says, what's the longest anyone has served in the SAS, Phil?
Oh, I don't know. I really, really, genuinely don't know. I mean, I know quite a few guys who've been all the way through their service. It'd be well over 20 or 30 years, I would have thought. I'll try and find out. I will try and find out. But it will be up there. It'll be a long time, I would imagine. Great live feed, mate. Jamie Thomas, thanks very much. Hey, Big Phil, over in Leap, mate, watch from the Melon Gate. Awesome place, an awesome place. Chris Roberts, evening, Big Phil. I could murder a wet. Matthew Straight likes me story. Well, thanks, Phil. Simon, someone that can say my last name without butchering it. Okay, nice one. Paul Davis is watching. All right, Paul, good to see you. Right, we're getting to that kind of day. Tomorrow, I seriously don't know where I'm going to be tomorrow. I really don't know. I could be here still. I could be in London. It will be a cooking show. We will cook something tomorrow because it's getting close to Christmas and Big Phil is getting extremely hungry. All right, so it will be food related tomorrow no matter what. And then Wednesday, I think we'll try and crack on and we'll get the second half of the 6th day of the Iranian embassy siege. And then I think on a Christmas type special towards the back end of the week, we'll do the assault how I see it, and then next year I've got all sorts lined up and guys that are actually there wanting to come and talk about it and put me straight. Right. Okay, so that would be good. And we'll meet a couple of people that are actually on the balcony and not just pretending to be.
Darren said he never gets my last name right, so is it Darren Braithwaite? Tell me if I'm right or not. What would you say, Phil?
It's not Brave.
Braithwaite. Braithwaite.
Yeah, Braithwaite.
Braithwaite? Braithwaite, what is that?
Graham Spry, evening for Wendy.
What?
We all sorted for Christmas. We couldn't be further than sorted from Christmas actually, because like I say,
I've got so much to do.
We had a bit of a nonsense with my eldest daughter, so we're down at Southampton sorting that out when we should have been back in London doing some bits and pieces. What am I doing for Christmas, big man? Again, I don't even know what I'm doing for Christmas yet. Not by the way.
What's your favourite Christmas beer? Anything.
Ooh. I don't know. You know, I like a Guinness. I do like a Guinness, but I don't tend to keep a lot of beer in the house. And I'll tell you why, because I don't like to just keep tipping beer down my face when I'm in the house. But I have some nice whiskies in the house. So I'll be more inclined to have a decent single malt on Christmas Day in a nice glass, sat there nice and chilled, than what I would, you know, just keep racking cans open. Because to be fair, when I drink beer, I like it out of a glass and I like it poured from a proper pump. So that's my favourite way to drink beer, and you can't do that without going out. And obviously Christmas Day, the pubs are shut after lunch anyway, so I wouldn't be doing that if I could.
I'm going to play a shot game this year.
You've got it, by the way, as you say it. Oh, there you go. Darren, by the way.
Oh, yeah. Oh, I didn't even see that.
So, nonetheless.
So dumb.
Nonetheless, by the way. There you go. How many kids we got between us both? We have got between us both 5 kids and 7 grandkids. Anything about the first Gulf War and the regiment? Luke, we're going to cover all these stories. I can't give you to them all in one night because that would be wrong and I'll have nothing to talk about all year. So I've got loads of stuff. I've got Murbat to cover yet. I've got so much stuff. I've got Suez. There's all sorts of stuff that we're going to be covering next year. We're going to visit some of these places as well, I'm telling you. So it's going to be an intense year next year. We've got so much going on, all right? And I've invested in some camera gear and stuff and some software so that I can edit some few bits and pieces and start banging up to it. It's all going to go off in the new year like Chinese New Year. It really is, okay?
Oh no, I'm worn out.
Martin Rogers said, good evening. Luke Sheen, happy days. Cheers, mate. Joseph Field, nearly a platoon. It's nearly a platoon, certainly a fire team. Certainly got enough to take an embassy down, I'll tell you. Right, okay, where are we going from now? I'll tell you where I'm going. I'm going to bed in a minute because we've been driving all day. We've been running about from pillar to post, sorting this out, that out, the other out. And tomorrow's going to be more of the same. When I come around the kids' house, there's fucking toffee stuck on there. My iPad stuck to a toffee. Fucking hell. I love grandchildren. Don't you just love them when there's toffee everywhere? I hope I'm not sat on one. There you go. So that's my iPad. Never going to fucking be the same again. It'll be stuck in the case. That's that sorted. Okay. That's outrageous, isn't it? Stuck on a toffee. Ridiculous. I love grandkids. I really do. Right, okay. So where are we going from there? Tomorrow night, cookery show. Please, please be there. Like and share. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to check out Soft Rip. Loads of stuff going on Soft Rip. All the pieces about this attack at the thing. I'm not eating that. I'll pull me. I can't have my mouth anymore. No, fuck. Right. Oh, dear. Fucking licorice. I fucking hate licorice. Right. Okay. In that case, it's good for the... Right. Jesus, that taste is going to be in my mouth all night. Who dared me to do that? Well out of order, because you know I can't refuse a dare. Give me some of me.
Can't refuse a dare, eh?
Oh, you know I can't. Yeah, I shouldn't have said that, should I?
Think
Right, there you go.
then.
So, let's get the parting line off and let's get out of here for the night, because Wendy's now going to regret me saying I can't refuse a dare. So, until tomorrow, who dares wins. Thanks for watching.